life has been that guy that does what people say. Oftentimes, kids would be on their own with no such conveniences as running, water, nor electricity. And the normal thing that we did when growing up was grazing livestock, looking for firewood, and fetching water from the running streams. From quite early, that gave me something that I wanted to change about myself and the village that I grew up in. So one of my enduring dreams was to ensure that my village got access to amenities, that is clean piped water, electricity, and some sustainable livelihood. When I was in Standard 5, my father wanted to do an extension to our village house. So with an exercise book, page, ruler and pencil, I did my first architectural plan. That must have solidified in my mind on my future career, that is erecting buildings. I was able to secure a place at the Nakuru High School. And then after that, I went on to high school, that is at the Moi Forces Academy in Nairobi, diploma course in architecture at Jomo Kenyatta College of Agriculture and Technology. So that gave me the basics required in the building and construction trades. So straight from college, I worked at the creative firm of M's Architects, and it gave me a new perspective about concepts and implementation of architectural design. So Professor George Shiwani gave me a job as a technical assistant in the building and civil engineering department. But then I went back to the private sector to join my lecturer, that is the late Abogi Akum. They worked with architect David Mogori. The firm consulted for UNHCR. So thereafter I started to look at things at a wider and more national level. I realized that I didn't know what I didn't know. So I decided that I needed to start taking workshops and short courses. This was mostly in the now emerging fields of computer-aided design, green building, sustainable energy conservation, and then general property management. That opened the door to work out on bigger building projects. I then went to work for a corporate, the National Social Security Fund. But in as much as my lab was in architectural drawing and design, I also learned about the building production and maintenance part during that time. I can now bring a project through the production cycle and also on the architectural design end of projects. After a 10-year stint, I now realize that the same zeal I had before was missing. But instead was this corporate mindset of having to churn this stuff out and not being willing to get into what's at the heart of it all. 2 years, I embedded myself with several building practitioners. That period also marked a turning point in my life. That segment of my journey took me, believe it, from divorce court. I also went on a tour of the world, which turned out as a chance to reflect upon my life and start anew. On the touring sojourn, I managed to visit Arusha, Tanzania, Mundri in southern Sudan, Johannesburg, that is in South Africa. I also did a bit of construction sites in the USA, including Wilmington in Delaware, Washington, D.C. I even landed at the annual general meeting of the International Code Council in Orlando, Florida. So, my travel to the US and interaction with the International Code Council was a kind of mixed bag of fortunes. You see, during my brief stay there, I interacted with many people. And then, in one of the interactions, I met a gentleman by the name Lynn Underwood. Lynn was to play a key role to realize that part of my dream of water for my village. The process was long and involving, but I managed to secure a deal with ICC Global Council and a number of friends. And they provided the seed funding of my village water project. The project was dubbed the Wish a Well Water Project. My friends and colleagues at the ICC Global Council collected about $7,000 US. That seed funding therefore proved inadequate for the needs of the water. I then convinced my brother, then a member of the county assembly and the county government of Kakamega, to provide more funding. This source of investment, unfortunately, came with its but fair share of challenges. And the good thing is that to date, we have managed to attract upwards of 10 million shillings in funding. We continue to do the sourcing of funding and improving that project so that it can have a wider reach and more of my villagers can benefit. We also hope that it can be self-sustaining. But as of now, I'm happy to have dreamt that big, and I can say the Muyenga Water Project is alive and kicking. I am also proud to have influenced the Rural Election Authority to drop a transformer at the Muyenga village. Our villagers draw the electrical needs from that transformer. I realized how much this meant to me and my future. It was putting the past to rest and allowing a new me to make strides into the future. Then I must admit also that, like any other person, I made my mistakes. But then I have always endeavored to change and create a bridge of a great future. And then to make a permanent course for a better life. The episode paved the way for a lovely and memorable wedding with Margaret Mwendwa. And Margaret has provided for me a bedrock and a solid partner at this end of my life journey. And with our lovely children, Joy and Rick, my family provides ample reason that there can be meaning and a real purpose to start all over again after somebody stumbles. But maybe the biggest thing that I learned was the professional side of my life. I realized that if I wanted to make great buildings like these other architects and builders, I could do it. So I decided that I was going to take this hybrid of stuff that I had learned over the years and share it with clients and friends. I happen to have some interactions with the International Code Council of the United States of America. It's definite that that code has a cycle, 3-year cycle. After 3 years, subsequently, I took up supervision of mega projects. So the first assignment on this was the 200 million Government of Kenya project at Kibish. That is in county of Turkana. Then after that, I took a few months the University of Columbia Health projects in Nyanza. That is the project called ICAP Kenya. And in quick succession, I supervised construction for the 600 million townhouses for the Kenyan pension scheme at Roslyn Estate, that is in near Runda in Nairobi. But my current project is the 6 billion Kakamega County Teaching and Referral Hospital. There is cheap construction equipment right now and an expanding number of infrastructure projects in Kenya. So tomorrow's building practitioners are going to have even more opportunities than we ever had. And if we have the craft, and if we have the infrastructure, and if we have the networks, then we can be builders these days to global standards. There are proven methods that you can use to leverage your way to the next level a lot quicker than we did. The good thing about being 55 is that I made a lot of mistakes. You see, I have loved and scorned and vice versa in equal measure. I have worked in the best and worst places and situations. I can show you the dots, I can show you how they connect, and I can show you how to leverage them. Where and when you bring to the life process to have a voice and be able to figure out how to do what you want to do with your career or with your project. And if